Hello everybody, today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and try on the Tudor Mini Sub reference 73090 wristwatch. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So as you can see, this is a Rolex after sales service shipping box. It is a box that they've only started using very recently. As you can see, it is made out of plastic and it does have a rubber band holding it together. And just giving you that close-up look as well. It does have a very glossy finish and you can see the after sales service print right there. And just for your reference, I'm going to show you what they used to use. So this is the styrofoam box which they used to ship the serviced watches in. So there we go. So old and new. Old on the left, new on the right. So right is their latest shipping box version. And with the styrofoam or old version, they used to put the styrofoam box in this lovely card shipping box with the Rolex branding, as you can see. So they've stopped shipping the service watches in the styrofoam box with the card shipping box, which is this. Instead, they're now just shipping it in this acrylic container. So now let's go ahead and of course open up the box by pulling off the rubber band and of course being very careful not to drop or tip over the contents. Setting the box down and lifting the box lid up to reveal what we see is a Tudor pouch. Or Tudor watch pouch right there. Of course, Rolex does service modern Tudors at their Rolex Service Centre facility. And let's set the contents aside and then we'll take a close-up look at the contents in more detail up close. So as you can see, there is a paper right there, or sheet of paper, and what appears to be a little container there, which I think I know what it is. And of course, looks like we can lift this separator up and out from the box, and then setting the box down. So you can see quite a few bits here that have come back from the Rolex Service Centre. So just to give you a close-up look at the shipping box from the after sale service or Rolex Service Centre, right there with the separator or divider, and on the inside of the box right there. Now that's the box. We can set it to the side, and of course let's start off by taking a look at the service paperwork. So this watch has just come back to me from a service, and this is the Tudor Mini Sub reference 73090, which I unboxed about 2 years ago on my YouTube channel. So it was running a bit slow, so I decided that it needed a service. So here are the details of the service. And they did tell me that they couldn't save the hands, that the lume on the hands was coming off. So they've given me a new set of hands, but they've also sent me back the original set of hands that went in with the watch. Okay, so that's the service that was done, along with the cost. Now moving on to the next item, let's shift the contents across. And then let's take a look at the what appears to be a service booklet. Let's take a look at the back as well. So front and on the inside, there we go. It just details the servicing, all the importance of servicing your Rolex or Tudor timepiece. And just quickly flipping through right there. And there is an index there, so giving you an up-close look as to the different parts and tests that they've done on the servicing of the watch. So nice to see the process. And of course, there is a warranty or guarantee card at the back of this booklet. And the service date as well. So right there, giving you a close-up look. Right, so that's that. Let's pull the card out just to see what's on the other side of the card, as some of you may be curious to see what's on the reverse. So right there, should you ever need to know what's on the back of the Rolex Service Centre guarantee card, that's the details right there. Okay, so we're gonna set the card down somewhere. It's gonna take a bit of effort to pop it back in the holder right here. And just giving you that quick flip through once again, just in case I missed anything. And just in case you want to see something that you may not be able to access for the moment. So there we go. And setting the service book down, let's find a spot somewhere, perhaps there. And now just shifting the contents around. Tudor pouch right here. And this paper wrapped or tissue wrapped box right there should contain the wristwatch. Just giving you a look at the Tudor pouch. So it's lovely contrast stitching with the red contrast and red Tudor shield and the white Tudor print on there with this service pouch. These are really handy to have, especially when you're traveling through airport security and have to take off the watch. Extremely handy and useful for a quick, easy storage of your wristwatch as you pass through the metal detectors, especially when traveling internationally. So just pop your watch onto this card so the bracelet doesn't scratch the case back. And then of course you put your watch in the pouch, so you can see there is a product number there. So giving you as much detail as possible with the whole unboxing experience from the Rolex Service Centre with the servicing of this Tudor mini sub reference 73090 wristwatch. Okay, so that's the Tudor pouch right there. As I mentioned, really handy to have, especially when you're traveling through international airport security with their metal detectors. Easy to slip your watch off, put it in the pouch, and put it in your pocket or backpack. Backpack, of course, because if you put it in your pocket, you'll have to remove it because it will trigger the metal detectors. So there we go. So nice felt or suede-like finish with the red contrast stitching for this Tudor watch pouch right here. Now setting the watch pouch down, we can move on to the watch itself. Actually, before that, let's take a look at the hands, or what I believe to be the hands of the watch. So right in there, if you can see, there's one, the hour hand right there with the Mercedes style. That seems to be okay. However, I think they've decided to switch the pair or the set of hands completely. So as I mentioned, the luminescent or lume on one of the hands at least has come off. So Rolex has decided, or the service center has decided, to replace the hands, and they've given me the original ones back. So I'm not sure whether you can see in the grooves of that card there, I do see The other two hands should be the seconds hand as well as the minute hand. The hour hand has kind of been dislodged onto the top of this separator here, but you can see this is a cute little container, so making sure that I don't snag that hour hand there. So there we go, best left to be handled using the right tool, so I'm not going to use my fingers to pick them up. Okay, so a little box there containing the original set of hands. So a little bit unfortunate there, but it's not the end of the world. This isn't a super valuable watch or anything like that at all. So there we go, hands right down. And then finally, we can move on to the main content itself, which is the Tudor mini sub reference 73090 wristwatch. So for those of you who have lasted this long and have been enjoying the experience, well done to you. Those of you who are frustrated, feel free to leave comments as always and tell me how you feel about this very, very long video, as most of my videos are on my channel. So as you can see, the watch or shipping or in a shipping container is wrapped in wrapping paper. So let's go ahead and unwrap it, and of course being careful not to tip the contents out. So there we go, you can see the watch sitting very lovely in this clear shipping container or acrylic shipping container, and you'll be familiar that this looks very similar, or if not the same, as the watch or watches that you see that are shipped to your dealers. This is the same box. Okay, so just to give you some idea of the size, resting in the palm of my hand there. So always cool to have these boxes just for the fun of it. And you can see as I show you the watch, before I remove it from the box and start fondling it with my hands, you now have a nice clear view of this early 90s Tudor mini sub reference 730 wristwatch. So this watch has a Bakelite bezel and is 33 millimeters in size for the case size of this watch. So right there, sitting very lovely in its clear acrylic shipping container. And okay, just one more view right there of the watch before I pop it out from its container or shipping box. Okay, so now let's go ahead and pop it out from the box. So being very careful and figuring out the right way to do it. Okay, so I'm just exploring the box, making sure that I pop the box open in the correct manner. So there we go, it flips to the side right there. And now I'm gonna lift the or tip the watch out. Right there. And setting the wristwatch down. So you can see this box, nice clear shipping box, which I believe is the same shipping box that authorized dealers get their Rolex and Tudors shipped in. And now being very careful not to drop the wristwatch, giving you a close-up look now before I start leaving finger marks all over the watch. Giving you that close-up look right there. So it does have a completely new set of hands, But the nice thing about it is it does still look consistent with the hue or color of the existing lume on the dial of the watch or the markers of the watch. So it's nice to have that matching color. I'm going to bring it up even closer. There's going to be a little bit of shadowing from the camcorder, but I'll try my best to avoid it. There's not much I can do, but hopefully you're enjoying this really close-up look at this 33mm case size early 90s vintage Tudor wristwatch, the Tudor mini sub reference 73090. And this one is in blue. It's also available in black. So blue is, in my opinion, a very cool looking one for this mini sub, as it does have a very dark blue, a navy blue to it. Now let's take a look at the back as well. I've not asked for the watch to be polished. It does come with a complimentary, as with any Rolex or Tudor service, they do provide a complimentary refurbishment, or in terms of polishing and brushing. However, I've not requested for it. I'm not a big fan of polishing or brushing. So there we go, a nice close-up look. And now, be careful about this, just pulling the watch off from its holder right there. Now we're going to start fondling it and leaving finger marks all over the watch. So there we go, giving you that close-up look to its very dark blue or navy blue dial, as well as Bakelite bezel right there. So it is a 33mm case size wristwatch. However, I like wearing this watch. It fits me just fine on my 17.2 centimeter or 16, beg your pardon, or 6 3/4 inch wrist diameter. So giving you a close-up look. As I mentioned, the watch has not been polished, as I've requested for it not to. So don't expect the watch to be looking shiny and new. And this is the very same watch, as I mentioned earlier, that I unboxed in my YouTube channel about 2 years ago. And just trying to show you that lovely detail. So this watch is in extremely good condition, being that it is nearly 30 years old, or at least over 20 years old. And of course, let's pop the clasp open just to show you the details of the watch. If you've not seen it before, let's get the camcorder to autofocus right there. You can see the Tudor branding or stamping on the clasp of the bracelet. Just going to turn it around so it reads the right way up. And right there. And of course, moving across. And right there. So the watch, as you can see, does have a good amount of wear marks on it. And bracelet stretch as well, but that's all quite fine to me. It is, after all, a wristwatch that's meant to be worn. And there, a nice good look up close at the dial of the watch, along with its Bakelite bezel. And let's turn the bezel. So the bezel has a very smooth operation and it's bi-directional. There's no clicks whatsoever. Just a very smooth operation and action on the turning of the watch bezel right there. Very smooth, very, very smooth action. And let's just set it back. To the normal orientation. And let's pop that crown out. So it does have a screw down crown. So they've kept all the parts original, haven't replaced anything except for the hands. So just popping the crown, and just to show you what it looks like right there, and popping out even further and showing you the case back as well. You can see it does have that orange case back sticker to indicate that it's been serviced by Rolex or the service center. Okay, and let's just move the hands around just so you can see what's what. And then another close-up right there, if I can, while avoiding the shadow from the camcorder. And let's continue and watch the date change. So it is showing the 31st. And let's see the date change action. Right there. You heard that click of the date wheel as it progressed to the 1st. Okay, and I'm just going to set it to 10:10 or 10:09. Which is the standard by which watch photography times are set. And just so you can hear the winding action as well. So this is my first time winding the watch, or actually even handling the watch, straight back from the Rolex Service Centre or Rolex after sales service with a movement service or overhaul. So there's some people that wind their crown this way, and some people do it in a stop and go method like this. Or back and forth, sawing away. And now let's lock the screw down crown down and just admire the watch once again. It's nice to see the watch back in action. And just to show you, actually just before that, just going to show you another look this way. Just so you have a nice clear view of this Tudor mini sub reference 73090 wristwatch. And just going to slowly move it around just so you can see how the light plays on the watch. Okay, so now let's try it on my 17.2 centimeters or 6 3/4 inch circumference wrist. You can see the watch fits quite nicely, and there's even room for another finger in there. So I've worn this watch many times, and I really love the very lightweight feel to it. And of course that gorgeous deep blue Bakelite bezel, just simply mesmerizing. It's such an under the radar watch, and as I mentioned, this is a 33mm case size watch. So it does appear slightly dainty, but that doesn't bother me in the slightest bit at all. It is what it is. It's how you wear it, how you enjoy the watch, or anything that you wear or do. Okay, just showing you, of course, right there as well, just so you have some reference to the size and how the wristwatch wears with its stainless steel bracelet. So it is, of course, a stainless steel sports watch or diving watch with 200 meters of water resistance or 660 feet. And just showing you the pinholes in terms of the positioning of the bracelet. So it is at its furthest extension or position, yet I'm still able to wear it on my 17.2 or 6 3/4 inch wrist circumference with a finger space to spare. So once again, just going to show you, pressing it down and flipping that lock down. And there, sitting very lovely and rather inconspicuously, or conspicuously, I beg your pardon. And a finger right there. Okay, so very cool, very cool. With this vintage Tudor mini sub. And of course, one thing I should show you as well. I do have this Oxy LED, 12 LED ultraviolet torch, which I've unboxed on my channel before, quite some time ago. Now let's test it out and see what the Lume is like on this Tudor mini sub watch. So just to give you that close-up look right now, what it looks like with the UV light on, and let's turn it off. And you can see the set of new hands glowing, but not the markers. So the markers, the Lume of the markers seem to have gone, but not the new set of hands, of course. So once again, just gonna do that. Charge the hands up with the UV torch and showing you that beautiful greenish blue Lume on the hands. And let's have a look one more time, this time even further up close. And that's the Lume on the new set of hands right there, glowing away. And of course, one thing I should show you as well is how the watch sits just in the palm of my hand, just so you have proper reference into as to the size of this wristwatch right here. So 33mm case size right there. It's really meant to be a lady's watch, but I enjoy wearing this watch very much. And sitting in my hand with the bracelet in view as well, right there. And let's fold that bracelet clasp down and lock it down like that. And once again, very gently, resting in the palm of my hand. The Tudor Mini Sub Reference 73090 wristwatch in the blue colorway, that lovely dark blue. And of course that glossy finish Bakelite bezel insert. Of course, giving you a look at the side view of the watch. So a nice close-up and all-round view of this Tudor Mini Sub Reference 73090 wristwatch. Just freshly back from the Rolex Service Centre. So that's the Tudor Mini Sub Reference 73090 wristwatch. Thanks for watching and happy taking!